Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning to a special edition of Steelers Pre-Snap. I'm Luther Dupree. Claudio Rosano's in the house. Smokin Jim is on the phone. We got a great show planned for you. But we're going to get started with the review of last week. And Jim, you said you didn't know who a particular receiver was last week when we did the show. Give me an answer. Do you know who Brandon Ayuk is this week, Smokin Jim?
Well, all I remember is I predicted that San Fran would win 42-13. How'd I do there?
Well, you did good. You did good there, but you know who number 11 is because the Steelers didn't know he was all game either, so I can't blame you. I mean, he just tore up Patrick Peterson. Brock Purdy looked amazing out there. He was clean. He was celebrating, and it was just a beating. You called it, Jim. I have to give you credit on that. No excuses. Offensively, defensively, special teams, the Steelers got beat, and they got beat bad. So credit to you. You called it. How about you, Claudio? Any other thoughts on that game?
I said Hufanga would get a pick, and I said Ayuk was going to have a good game, and he did. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but everybody's going crazy about Pickett. Hopefully now it's tempered a little bit, and we'll get into more of that later, I'm sure. But I had 26-22. I thought the Steelers would do a little bit better offensively. But San Francisco just came in, and I tell my team all the time, which, by the way, we are 4-0. And I tell our team, hey, as soon as the game starts, punch them in the mouth right away. Jerry Cooney said whenever he would have a fight, he would want to land the first punch to let them know, hey, I can punch. San Francisco did that. Pittsburgh didn't. And you got what you got.
Yeah. I was disappointed. I was wrong. I'm 0-1 in the year. I thought the Steelers could win a close game, and it wasn't close the entire game. So kudos to San Francisco. They look like the real deal, and the Steelers look pretty much like they did last year starting it off. Had some bad injuries. Deontay Johnson's out. He's going to be out for some time. Cam Hayward's going to have had surgery on his groin. He's going to be out. Anthony McFarland's hurt. So it was a very painful loss, and we'll see what they have to come up with against a tough Browns team. But let's start off. Claudia, what do you have for us in your huddle up?
Everybody wants to blame Matt Canada for everything. I'm pretty sure Matt Canada wants that paycheck. I'm pretty sure Matt Canada knows there's only a few of these jobs in the world, and he wants to keep it. Everybody says, open it up, throw deep. Kenny Pickett, swag, should throw deep, open it up. Well, he's with Kenny Pickett every single day. He's with that offense every single day. It's like having a Ferrari, okay, but no wheels, all right? They have the offensive weapons, but do they have the guy driving the car? I don't believe they do. He knows that they have to open it up. He's not that dumb. He knows that they need more points. He hears what's being said about him. He reads about it. Don't let coaches say, "Oh, we don't pay attention to the media." Sure, they do, but he also knows that maybe they just don't have it with him, with Kenny Pickett. And also, when you have a number one draft pick, are you looking to minimize his participation, his actions? Everybody says if Kenny Pickett throws between, and myself included, if he throws between 20 and 23 passes a game, 24 passes a game, good. If he throws 25, 35, 45 plus, not good. That's what you pick a number one player for? You pick a running back number one, and you say we're only going to give him maybe Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, O.J. Simpson. You can go on all the greats, Franco Harris. Those guys were getting the ball 25, 30 times a game. Let's only give them the ball maybe about 10 times. Let's minimize their work because you don't have any confidence in them. And they yet picked him number one. He was a good number two pick, great number three pick, number one, not good. Let's not blame everything on Matt Canada. He can't be that dumb. He wants to keep his job. He wants to score points, but he knows he does not have the weapons to do it. Take the rose-colored glasses off and realize he's just an average quarterback, a game manager, this damn swag and leadership. Let's see what kind of leadership he has when Pickens gets mad, okay? Let's see what kind of leadership. Everything's great when you win, okay? Let's see what kind of – I'm not ripping on the kid. I'm just telling you what I see. That's it.
Wow, Claudio, it seems like you've been ripping on the kid since he got here, Claudio. But we'll see.
I'm just being like right behind me. I have a Clemente pennant, some Clemente pictures. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. It's what I see. It's not. I'm not ripping it. It's just what it is. I got the 71 Pirates plaque up there. It's what it is. It's not an opinion. I'm seeing what I see. Clint Hurdle says you are what your baseball card says you are, and there's always excuses. He's too young. Matt Canada. He's a rookie. This guy's hurt. What the hell? That's life. You got to fight through it. There's reasons for things. There's excuses. He is what he is.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you, Claudio. But I've been calling for Matt Canada since Ben Roethlisberger was here. The offense has been one of the worst in the history. They haven't scored more than 21 points. If you go back to when he got here in 2021, the offense has gotten worse and worse. It's time for him to go. But Smokin Jim, what you got for us, buddy?
All right. Thanks, Lou. I think I'm going to go back to the 2018 draft, which I gave it a D. I just want to see how I did. First round, the Steelers reached for a player that I think Coach Tomlin went to the prom with his mom, Terrell Evans. They thought they had to for Palomula. They were wrong there. Second round, surprisingly, they were wrong again with James Washington. In the third round, I think we all agree that Mason Rudolph has not had a great career. Fourth round, they had two picks in the third round. They didn't do too bad. They picked the African there, offensive right tackle, Chunks or Choops or Okafor, whatever you guys call it. No fourth round draft pick. In the fifth round, they picked a guy with a great name, Marcus Allen. Too bad he was a tweener. Really wasn't a defensive back. Too small to be a linebacker. And but was great on special teams. I was always pulling for him. Two picks in the fifth round. The second pick was Jalen Samuels, a running back that probably couldn't make the Eastern Raiders or the Penn Hills Pythons. But, he have R&B next to his name. And no sixth round pick. In the seventh round, they picked a bum out of Alabama, fat slob named Joshua Frazier. The Frazier's name's not really famous until me and Joe made it famous. Don't you agree, Lou?
Oh, God.
So, again, I rated that a D. I know, Lou, you said you got to wait 4 or 5 years for you to see. Do you agree now, Lou, with what you didn't agree with in 2018 that that's a D draft?
I give you credit, Jim. You called it, but you've been calling D the last 4 drafts. So we'll see. In 2018, you were right. We'll see how good you are a couple years from now. All right. Hey, Jim, we do have a comment. Let's see. We have Frank Jackson. He said Steelers played like it was still preseason. 49ers. I guess he's saying we're ready to roll. Oh yeah, definitely agree. Well, I want to go to my prophetic thoughts on a couple things, man. Listen, what can you say? The king of college football is Deion Sanders. He just continues to roll. Last night, they started off bad. They lost Travis Hunter, a very brutal late hit where they just tried to break the man's ribs after the play. But, man, they just fought and came back. I'll give it to Colorado State. They had a great game plan. They came out. They had a lead, like an 8-point lead with under 2 minutes left, and blew it. Man, Shedeur Sanders is poised. He's looking like every bit of a top quarterback that could be the number 1 drafted, at least a first-round pick. He can do it all. And what I like about him, he's doing whatever it takes to win. You know, the passing game wasn't going good. He got out, made some yardage with his legs. He's just a winner. Deion inspires the team, man. I knew their defense was going to struggle, but they made plays. Shallow Sanders started off with that pick, 80 yards. The only thing I missed, he didn't do the prime time and hold that ball out. But he almost got caught. So it's good he didn't do it. But Coach Prime, like I said, is a winner, man. He's turning the program around. Everybody wants to go to Colorado. It's must-see TV. And these other coaches are jealous, but there's only one prime time. And I think next year, they're a season away because like he said, there's missing a few dogs, a couple linemen, defensive linemen, offensive linemen. But man, they got talent at all the skill positions, and they won that one with probably their best player, Travis Hunter, not playing much and not doing much since the second quarter. So, hey, way to roll, Coach Prime. You had the haters like Smokin Jim Frazier when you took the job, but I told you he was going to go there and win. Jim, you finally on the bandwagon. Can you stop calling him a sellout?
Hey, Luther. First of all, that was a great hit on Travis Hunter.
That was a dirty hit. That was a dirty hit, Jim. He should have been thrown out. The man.
To the hospital, and that's the way you play football.
No, come on, Jim.
Hey, Luther, would you agree without the quarterback that Colorado right now would be 1-2? So is it coming down to, is it Belichick or is it Brady? Is it Prime Time or his son? He's never coached without his son. Luther, I love Prime Time.
He's coached his son his whole life, Jim. Give him some credit.
If he 1-2 right now, if he didn't have to start playing quarterback, just like Belichick can't win without Brady, I'm not sure if Deion Sanders can win without his boy.
Hey, well, he won without Travis Hunter yesterday. You know, let's hope he doesn't. Let's hope we don't find out if he can win without Shador. But Shador is special. He's that good, Jim. You know, I knew he was good, and he's just proven HBCU ball is just as good as PWI ball. You know, the two Heisman guys are doing their thing.
I know Travis Hunter can't take a hit.
It was a dirty hit, Jim. It was a dirty hit, Jim. Jim, the ball was out of bounds. There were coaches throwing the ball back, and that guy hit him in the ribs.
Colorado sideline. Well, the Steelers signed up that safety, brother.
Hey, well, all I know is that number safety 11 got burnt late in the game. That cost them the game. So, you know, karma's, what do they say about karma? Karma's a what, Jim? He got his payback.
Travis Hunter is now the full-time defensive back. I bet you right now, he ain't playing no more offense.
Oh, chill. Here you go. Leave Travis Hunter alone. Deion Sanders said he has to fall in love with the weight room. He might have to get in there a little more, man. Hey, but he's taking over. I'm loving what I'm seeing. All right, let's jump back to the comments section. We got Brian Corbett, Big Dog. Good morning. Good morning, Brian. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Listen, let's start up as we get in here about the Steelers offense versus the 49ers D. Claudio, who do you give the advantage to and why?
Well, what have I said for years? The most important positions on the field are offensive line, defensive line. In this case, defensive line has to open up some holes for Najee Harris and Warren. They're going to be the two-headed monster. Although I love Najee Harris, I think he should get the ball 23 to 25 times a game. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. It looks like between Warren and Harris, that's going to be their running back by committee type thing. They obviously didn't get a chance to. Harris had some nice numbers, but he couldn't get the ball enough last week because they were behind quick. So I think they have to, as always, limit Kenny Pickett's possessions. He can only throw between 20-23. He's going to have to. Warren and Harris are going to have to run the ball a lot. They're going to have to get about 175 yards combined. And then this way, Pickett throws because he wants to, not because he has to. So it's all going to depend on the offensive line, giving Pickett and the backs, holes and time to throw, and also schematically. Again, if they don't run the ball, that puts all the onus on Pickett. They're going to be in big trouble. They have the weapons. Pickens, he wants the ball more. Are they going to focus on him more and try to jam it in there just to please him? I think that's a mistake. Okay. And Washington, I think he's big time. Did he get anything left? He's got to get more. I know he pancaked Bosa. He's got to get more involved with the offense. They have the weapons. They have to use them. Get good play calling. Help your quarterback out as much as possible, because he needs a ton of work. I'm giving the edge to the Cleveland defense, who's going to blitz Pickett more. Okay. And not only are they going to blitz him, they're going to confuse him. He's going to throw some interceptions. One is going to be to Delpit. I was right last week about Hufanga. I'm saying Delpit's going to get a pick. But with Cleveland, and we'll get to that in a minute, offensively, keeping the ball out of Pittsburgh's hands, it's really going to make the Pittsburgh offensive numbers look bad. But I'm giving the defense of Cleveland the advantage. Myles Garrett and the other guy, the other defensive end, Akobu. I forgot his last name, but he's big time. He's going to have a big game. Ogbo Chronic or something like that. But let's just go Ogbo. I like him. He's tough off the line. He's going to be a problem today. Everybody's going to focus on Myles Garrett, but Ogbo is going to have a big game as well, as is Delpit. I'm giving Cleveland defense the edge.
Okay. All right. How about you, Smokin Jim? How do you see this going?
Well, only thing that can help Kenny Pickett is he sees the wizard in a heart. He was scared, man. And none can help when you got a yellow streak running up your back. Claudio, what did I say on draft day? I said Jordan Addison would help Kenny Pickett. First game of the season, Jordan Addison caught a 50-yard touchdown. This past game, he caught a 63-yard touchdown. He's on pace for 20 touchdown receptions. He's absolutely eating up the league. You got to have a security blanket.
It's one game.
You have to be able to find somebody that you know is getting single coverage that you can throw it out there and know this guy's going to be open or come back to the football. Hey, listen, the NFL has to change what they're doing. In the offseason, these defensive coordinators said, we're getting after the quarterback. And the NFL don't want that. You're going to have a bunch of NFL quarterbacks wearing 12 like Travis Hunter and going to the hospital after the game because these guys are scared to death. You got to give the advantage to the Cleveland Browns who wants it more. This game is more important to them. Cleveland's defensive line over the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, good point, Jim. And I happen to agree with you guys. I do feel the Browns, after what they did to Cincinnati, Myles Garrett and those boys, Myles Garrett was doing basketball moves and getting sacks. They move him around. I don't like to see him lined up against Dan Moore. Hey, Dan Moore, you said he was going to be all pro last week, Smokin Jim. I saw him give up about 3 sacks. He played bad, just like the rest of the other offensive linemen for the Steelers. They didn't open up any holes. Okafor looks like he's hurt, and it just didn't look good. Everything fell apart, and I think now coming in with Myles Garrett and these guys, they have a lot of great defensive players. Very underrated defense. Zadarius Smith is another defensive end they're going to have to worry about. Anthony Walker's a solid linebacker, and their corners. They matched up against the Cincinnati receivers, one of the best receiving teams in football, one-on-one. We're talking about Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome. Their safeties played a big part. Delpit and these guys. They go after you. They hit you, and they're nasty back there. And now we're down one of our best receivers, Deontay Johnson. It could get rough, and I agree with both of you guys. I think it is going to be advantage Browns D. Smokin Jim, how about you get us started on the offensive side of the ball for the Browns? How about the Steelers D versus the Browns O? Who do you give the advantage to and why?
Well, I think Cooper may be bagging out of this game. I mean, I love Amari Cooper, but I tell you what, man, sometimes he wants to play, sometimes he don't. The running game is unbelievable. That running back the Browns have is unbelievable.
Nick Chubb, yes.
Right now, what I would do on Sunday is I go to cheerleaders and send everybody I could to Deshaun Watson's room.
Oh, God.
If you don't, there's no stopping that guy. That guy's unbelievable. His college coach said he's the Michael Jordan of football, and I agree. And he's going to show it and prove it. And that African that got the tight end, I tell you what, he's as good as any tight end in football. So nobody can cover him. So I got to give the advantage because number one, the Steelers are soft in the middle, like I said, all the way from the defensive line to the middle linebacker through the weak safety, called corners.
Okay.
So I give the advantage to Deshaun Watson and the boys.
Okay. All right, Claudia.
Luther, you mentioned something that I forgot to mention. If Cleveland did what they did to Cincinnati's offense and Joe Burrows, who I also think is overrated, what are they going to do to Pittsburgh? Okay, now, as far as the Steelers D versus the Cleveland O, what I worry about, in all honesty, is Stefanski. Sometimes he outthinks himself. You have Nick Chubb back there, okay? You have Moore, who's not Ford, who's a nice back as well. Use them. Chubb should get the ball 25 carries and about 6 catches out of the backfield. He should come up with about 200 between Watson running for about 50, Chubb 200 yards plus. They should have about 200 rushing wise. I apologize. Rushing wise, I think Chubb has a shot for about 130. Watson about 50, Ford about 35, 250 yards, 215 yards rushing approximately. Okay. And use those guys. Don't outthink yourself. What they try to do, Stefanski and that group, well, they say they know we're going to run the ball. So instead, we're going to pass the ball. But wait a minute. Like, they just start outthinking themselves. Okay. Now, Amari Cooper's big time. Jim's right. So he's off and on sometimes. But the guy I look for is Elijah Moore. I think he's going to have 2 touchdowns today. And how you pronounce his name? Njoku. I think he's going to be a very nice safety valve if the defense blitzes. If Watson doesn't take off, he's going to throw Njoku a lot, which is going to be like Jim said about Addison, a nice guy that you know where he's going to be. Okay, so I think Watson has yet to have a big breakout game since his return. This might be it. Not just passing yards either. I think he's probably going to throw for 185 plus, but he's also going to run for about 50 yards, which is going to open up the field. They're going to give the Steelers a lot of things, but I would definitely give the ball to one of the best backs in the game, and Nick Chubb. Hayward's out, obviously. Highsmith disappeared last week. The defensive backs, they talked a lot, and nothing happened. Joey Porter, that everybody was talking about, how much did he play? There's got to be a reason for that. If Purdy did what he did, and you mentioned how clean he was, if he did what he did, okay, and picked him apart, Watson can pick him apart, but he can also run, which Purdy didn't do, which adds another element to an offense. And I think they're going to give Steelers defensively.
Okay, all right, let's jump to the comments. Frank Jackson, Najee running like he got a truck on his back. Jay Warren is better. Wow. All right. Daddy Kingslayer said, I agree with Jim, as always. Come on, man. All right. Frank Jackson's back in here. Jim on his wild crap again. Travis Hunter is the truth. Stop hating. Okay. Daddy Kingslayer said, yes, to be honest, Pickett may not survive Monday night. Browns beat up Joe Burrow. This is a statement game for Steelers. They need to win, or basically it's season over. Wow. Daddy Kingslayer is giving up already. Okay. Listen, let me say this. As far as the Steelers D versus the Browns O, it's going to be tough because the Browns have one of the best running backs in football, as you guys were saying. Nick Chubb runs it well against the Steelers, against anybody. I think he's very underrated, very powerful. He has speed, can take it inside and outside. We saw what Christian McCaffrey did, and that's when we had Cam Hayward for at least a quarter. Now he's out. Larry Ogunjobi is hurting as well. So that defensive line is not looking well. Your rookie from Wisconsin, Benton, is going to get some work today, Jim. We'll see if he's a bust like you said, or can he make some plays. Now, you said they picked up a defensive tackle that you liked, Jim. I'm surprised you didn't mention him. Will he get some time? But as you look at them, man, they got Amari Cooper at wide receiver. He's had some good games against the Steelers as well. Deshaun Watson didn't have great numbers last week, against the Browns, but it was a sloppy day. But he's a top quarterback, and if he's starting to catch up to where he was when he first got with Houston Texans, I think it's going to be a major problem. He's running the ball well, like you said. And Njoku, we saw him last year. He had some good games, some good catches against the Steelers. He works that middle, and I still don't like what we're doing with our linebackers. I thought we could have done a lot more. You made a great point about Elijah Moore. Very underrated trade that the Browns made with the Jets. I think he's going to be able to do a little more with Deshaun Watson than he was with Zach Wilson. We're going to have a tough time. Very disappointed in our linebacker play last week. I thought we'd be greatly improved, but we weren't. Cole Holcomb and Roberts, those guys were getting run over, getting lost in coverage. The middle was wide open. And Cole Holcomb was just flopping all over the field, Jim. I was really disappointed in him and Roberts. Hopefully they'll have some more. I'd like to see Mark Robinson get in there. If they're going to play that slow, can we get number 93 to hit her, the former running back Mark Robinson, some work? Because we're going to need her today trying to stop these guys. Watt put up some great numbers at the end, but he was, they held him in check for some of the game. And Minka Fitzpatrick, did he play last week, Jim? I'm still looking for number 39. He had a wide open sack, completely missed Brock Purdy. He did a spin move and threw for another 20 yards. And the heart and soul of the defense, Cam Hayward, is going to be out for a while. Is this the beginning of the end? He's starting to get hurt a lot more now. He's really long in the tooth, and we shouldn't really be relying on him to be the primary guy in the middle anymore. And now we're going to see, because we have some work to do. It's going to be rough. I give the advantage to the Browns, as well. Steelers have their work cut out. Unless somebody has the game of their life, it's going to be very hard for them to beat Cleveland. So we got to see.
Question.
Sure.
And Jim, too, a lot of people, a lot of national media is saying, especially local, too, that the Steelers came out flat.
They did.
Who do you blame for that? I really have a hard time blaming the coach for that. What do you guys say?
Well, at the pro level, I think the players should be responsible for having energy. The coach can help. This isn't high school or college. These guys are paid. You should come in prepared and ready. They weren't ready or prepared. So I give about 60% to the players. Also, as far as the coaching, I don't like their game plan. Matt Canada's game plan is always trash to me. We never, some offensive coordinators, what they're trying to exploit, what they're trying to do. I knew it was bad. It was second and about 4, and he tries a jet sweep with Calvin Austin toward Nick Bosa's side, and they lost about 3 yards. So it was 3rd and 8, and then the third down, it's an incomplete pass. So yeah, I blame about 60% for the players, 40.
I'll blame the coaching staff, but being flat. Again, I put that on the players. Smokin Jim.
Well, I put it all on the coaching. The coaches is a terrible coaching staff. They had the players not prepared. The players came out there. It's like paralysis by analysis. They was confused. I mean, they're like their feet, Claudio, was in concrete because everything they prepared for, which was almost like preschool. I mean, they was just confused. And when you're confused, you can't play fast. You don't know what's going on. It's almost like when Spygate was happening and Bill Belichick and them knew the Steelers played before they called them. It was just frustrating. So I put all the blame on the coaching staff. Tomlin wants to be the next Deion Sanders. There's only one Deion Sanders. He did not have his team prepared. They won't be prepared for Monday. And so I put all the blame on all the coaches except for Meyer, the offensive line coach. He had them guys ready to play.
Jim, that's a great line. What you said, when you're confused, you can't play fast. I absolutely love that line. Very good.
Listen,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's completely wrong. You said the offensive line was ready to play. They gave up 5 sacks. There were no holes for the running game. Kenny Pickett was running for his life and never looked comfortable. So if you give an F, it has to be an F all the way around. All right, let's go.
When you're confused, okay, you are not going to play fat. I love that line. I tell my players when you don't have vision, okay, you're not going to your speed, the bat speed is less. You have to have confidence, vision. You have to not be confused. Jim's right, Luther. It's not an opinion.
Listen, did they do anything you didn't expect them to do? Listen, they had McCaffrey running left, running right. They had Ronnie going deep outs. They had Deebo Samuel in the backfield catching swing passes. They didn't do anything real creative. They didn't do any flea flickers that they hadn't seen before. The guys didn't make plays. Meek is in position, not blocked for a sack. He lets Purdy run around him. That's Patrick Peterson's in position to make a play against Brandon Ayuk. He doesn't make it. These guys weren't making plays. If you're in position, if you look at the 70-yard run for Christian McCaffrey, this corner, Wallace is there to make a play, unblocked. He goes in with his eyes closed like he's David DeCastro, hitting Pouncey and hits his own lineman. Christian McCaffrey makes a spin, runs down the line 70 yards. And who's chasing him? The oldest, slowest, 57 Adams is the only guy chasing him. I was impressed. He chased him 50 yards down the field. And then the other guy chasing him was Patrick Peterson from the other sideline, who's the oldest player on the field because Cam Hayward was hurt. Where was Minka? Where were the linebackers? Where was everybody else in pursuit? That was a lack of effort from these guys. You know.
Hey, Luther.
Yes.
Hey, Luther. People making a big deal because Cam is hurt. It ain't like a Hall of Famer, though. I mean, it's time to replace him anyway.
He'll be in the Steelers Ring of Fame. He'll be in the Steelers Ring of Fame.
Just like Colorado had every former player in their Ring of Fame. I'm like, holy heck. Did you see that, Luke?
Yeah.
Every player seemed like their name was up on the Ring of Fame.
Yeah, some of those guys need to come down. Now, if it's Eric Bieniemy, Rashawn Salam, okay, Cordell Stewart, but some of those guys, I said, man, they barely did anything at the college level. Why are they up there? Hey, Jim, they're almost as bad as Pitt is putting some guys up there that don't belong, as you always do every time we go in the in the peak.
Oh, yeah,
Hey, all right, let's see. Jason Thomas says Steelers don't have the horses. Okay, we'll see. Jim said the draft was another D. We'll see. Hey guys, let's do it. Let's do a game prediction. Claudio, let's see where you're at. What do you think about the prediction? Who do you have winning this?
Cleveland 27, Pittsburgh 17. I think it's going to be more field goal laden for Pitt, for the Steelers. And like I said, I got Cleveland 27, Pittsburgh 17. Cleveland's going to have a much better offensive game plan. They're going to run the ball. Deshaun Watson is going to have high percentage of completions, and they're going to control the ball. I just like Cleveland.
Okay, all right. Smokin Jim, predictions.
Well, we got Ryan Garcia playing quarterback, a guy with a yellow streak running down the middle of his back. Hey, listen, you cannot show fear. You cannot show fear, or to be another love TKO. They're coming after you. I think
Teddy Pendergrass reference.
Yeah. I think this means more to Cleveland. Cleveland is very physical. I think this is their year. I've been saying that all along. And I think that they'll make Pittsburgh quit in there like San Francisco did.
Wow.
I'm looking for a lopsided game.
Wow. Quit, Jim?
Yeah, quit like they already did once. Jim said, I'm surprised. It's only been a week since they quit, dude.
I'm not going to say they quit. You know, they were shell shocked. They got a couple bad breaks. All right, let's see. Oh, Jason Thomas is 30-3 Browns. Wow.
I like that.
All right, Frank Jack. Why do Jim and Claudio hate Kenny Pickett?
I don't hate him. Again, I don't care one way or the other. I don't have any skin in the game. I'm not a fan of anything. I'm just saying what I see, Frank. I just don't see it. Doesn't have a big arm. The swag, for the life of me, I don't see. The leadership aspect, I don't see. I don't see anything that the media and the fans are putting on him. I don't see it.
All right, Jim.
I can't tell Pickett apart from Jerkovich.
Wow. Oh my gosh, Jerkovich.
I can't tell him apart, Lou.
Jerkovich looks so bad back there. Oh my goodness. I think he's put on too much weight. He was an athletic quarterback who could run and jump. He was one of the most athletic quarterbacks to come out of Pine Richland going to Notre Dame. What has happened to that man? Now he can't complete a 10-yard out. Oh my goodness. All right, all right, Frank Jackson said Pickett is a second-year quarterback. He's really on Pickett, man. Listen, my game prediction with all the injuries, I think the Steelers can make it competitive, but I think not having Cam Hayward to stop Nick Chubb, not having Deontay Johnson to open up the passing game with his route running, and Kenny Pickett seems to throw it to him 20 times a game. I think it's going to be a lot. Now you're going to have to rely on Matt Canada to get more creative because you don't have one of your big horses, maybe your biggest pass receiver. Can he get Calvin Austin in the game? Can he get George Pickens the ball? Have some plays designed to get him one-on-one and throw it up to him. You know, this guy's showing that if he doesn't get the ball, he starts pouting on the sideline. Give the man the ball. You need a playmaker. Can we get Jalen Warren in some open space? Can we finally use the tight end? Why is it Freiermuth getting more looks in the middle of the field? We got another Washington as Claudio who's been big on him. He's 6'7". Give the quarterback some easy throws. Throw it up to this guy. Get some confidence. You know, the playbook is amateur. I've seen midget league playbooks over this weekend look better than Matt Canada's has in 3 years. You know, he's an absolute disgrace. Jim, you're right. He's been fired everywhere he's been, and he should have been fired 2 years ago. You know, they cannot win with this guy. You know, the players know it. The coaches know it. The Steelers need to go ahead and swallow their pride and pay and fire him. So what? You have to pay on the remainder of the season. He's not getting any better. The team is getting worse. We got to get rid of him. And if they don't, the whole staff has to go.
Hey, Luther.
Yes.
Hey, Luther, Ryan Clark, and this is a powerful offense, said that Pickens was better than Jefferson.
Insane statement. Does Ryan Clark have CTE setting in, Smokin Jim? Right. I mean, he either that or he was smoking Ryan Clark that day.
And he's trying, that's a ridiculous comment. And I think he's just trying to butter people up and trying to get in. There's no way in hell he's better than John Jefferson.
Let me ask you guys this. Would you trade straight up or even sweeten the pot a bit? Would you trade Minnesota Pickens for Jordan Addison right now? And I would try to make that deal. Pickens is a diva, like you said. He's going to pout. If he don't get the ball, he's a cancer in the locker room. I said last year, get rid of him. You know, I love his talent, but I knew he was going to be a problem. Would you trade him straight up or sweeten the pot a little bit? I may throw in Okafor or something like that to get Jordan Addison. Would you do that, Lou? Maybe throw in Joey Porter.
Oh, my goodness.
Porter Pickens for Addison.
Jim, that's an insane statement. There's no way I trade both of them. But listen, it's only been one game. Jim, it's only been one game, and Jordan Addison has looked good in the preseason. He's made.
They played Thursday. He had a 63-yard touchdown.
All right, okay. All right, so it's early in the season. Yeah, he had 3 catches for 70 yards. He looks good, but let's see him go through a full season. Listen.
Did Pickens ever win a Biletnikoff award? No.
He never had Kenny Pickett throw it to him either in college. So, hey, but he was a great receiver. If he doesn't tear his ACL, he's a first-round pick, Jim. Let's not talk about George Pickett like that. He tore his ACL.
You wouldn't make that deal? You're saying you wouldn't make that deal?
It's too early for me to make that deal. I need to see more from Jordan Addison. But I'd consider it. Because he looks the part. He looks the part, and you've been high on him. I was high on him too. I just didn't think the Steelers need to get him in the first round. All right, let's see. All right, Frank Jackson, Pickett. Oh, somebody agrees with you. Frank Jackson says Pickett is a damn head case. He is not even the second best. I guess he's saying wide receiver on the Steelers. Wow. Not even second best on the Steelers. Yeah, Jim. I don't know. That seems like a possible trade, but I want to see more, and I want to see the Steelers get George Pickett's more involved. I mean, the playbook's not getting him one-on-one. What do you think, Claudio?
Maybe again, Canada has the videos. He's got the game film. He's got everything. Maybe he just doesn't have confidence in his quarterback. Everybody wants to blame Canada. Again, he has to know there's only so many of these jobs. I'm sure he wants to make that paycheck. I'm sure he'd love to open it up. But if he had Marino, Duper, and Clayton, would he open it up or do jet sweep? I would like to think he would open it up.
He still doing jet sweeps.
He doesn't have the horse, not horses. He doesn't have the jockey to do it, in my opinion. I said that from day one. I've never wavered. Kenny Pickett is an okay quarterback, and everybody's got him, big time. He's not going to be Daryl LaMonica. Forget about Marino and Montana and the rest of it. He's not going to be Daryl LaMonica. He's not going to be Kirk Cousins. People were saying he's going to be like Kirk. Hell, if he puts up Kirk Cousins numbers, terrific. Great. They did good. He ain't going to put up Kirk Cousins numbers.
Okay. All right. We do have some more in here. Daddy Kingslayer, I'm going with the Browns 24-6. I can't see Pickett doing anything. Kenny already admitted to only being able to compete against second-string defenses. Wow. Okay. Man, a lot of haters on Kenny P in here, boy. Jordan Addison only good because Jefferson is on the other side, Jim, according to Jason Thomas. All right, man. So it looks like we're all going with the Browns in this one. Man, I don't think anybody picked the Steelers in the group. All right, Jason Thomas is back in there. Hell no, dumb trade. Not trading Pickens and Porter for him. That's a whole lot to give up for Jordan Addison, Jim. Come on, you have to admit that, Jim. He looks good, but it's only been a couple games, Jim. And he has, 6 catches, 2 touchdowns, 6 catches. It looks good, but we'll see when defenses adjust to him what happens. But he looks the part. Guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on, all the comments. Jason, Daddy Kingslayer, Jason Thomas, everybody. For Smokin Jim, who's looks like your phone's working good. We got to get you back on the stream. You get rid of that Obama phone, Jim? All right, look like it cut off on him. All right, Claudio, thanks for tuning in, man. Good luck. Congratulations on the big wins that you had this past week. You beat Penn State, right?
Penn State Beaver. Yeah. Thank you.
It's always good to beat Penn State, isn't it, Claudio?
Right. We're doing good. Have a good group. We still have a long way to go, though.
Okay. All right. Hey, thank everybody for tuning in. Check out the website, scsportsworld.com, and we'll check you out next week. Peace.